What's up, everybody? Welcome back to K's and Plus One. I'm your host, Samuel Manyunda. You look good, bro.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. I don't want any of you to die. I don't want anybody here to die with dreams.
Go for it. And then, if it goes amazing, kudos to you. Take the pat on the back and keep moving forward. If it
Wow.
sucks, be accountable and be like, you know what, I was wrong. I'm
Yeah.
sorry it happened. Guys, I know it's been a second since I've been back on the pod. To be honest, I've just been in the dirt. I've been grinding. We've been in the trenches. As you guys know, if you guys have been following along with the journey, Rocky and I started a music company called Sixer Studios. So we launched that last month. We launched our first marketing campaign. It's been a lot of late nights. It's been a lot of grinding behind the scenes, a lot of footage that hasn't come out yet that's going to come out to YouTube. But that's the reason I've been off the pod. But now I'm back, and I'm happy that I'm back with a banger. Today's guest is someone very special. Somebody I've been watching for a second now, operate. And from the surface, it seems like he's an amazing guy, a motivated person, somebody with a lot of charisma. I relate to that a lot. So he's an entrepreneur. His name is Aphile Ndaba, and I'm just gonna let him do the rest of the honors.
How are you doing?
Yo, Aphile, what's up, my guy?
Are you good, bro?
I'm amazing. How you doing?
I'm good, bro. That introduction was crazy, eh?
Thank you. Thank you. I feel like I'm at home, bro. This is my zone.
Lovely stuff, bro. Thank you for having me onto your show. It's nothing short of an honor. You're doing amazing work, and you reached out to me, and we're about to make magic happen.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. I'm excited. I mean, before we even get into like what is it that you do and stuff like that, I cold DM'd you on Instagram. You had no idea who I was, bro. And
Yeah.
like I get it, bro. When you're in the grind, it's a lot of activity. Everything's happening at the same time. Why did you agree to do this?
So man, look, I do a lot of that stuff myself. I know how it feels to be the guy on the other end receiving the no. I, as much as I've made my strides in business, I still get no's. And it's just I don't want to be that person who is gatekeeping for other kids. I'm still trying to like make sure that everybody eats and make like if I'm able to help you, reach out to me and I'll do that.
That's great, bro. I appreciate it, and I'm excited for this. I feel a lot of organic love.
Your pitch was good, yeah.
My picture.
Your pitch.
Oh, my pitch.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
forgot what I said, bro. I came off a whim. It was at like 1 a.m. and I was just feeling inspired. I said, bro, I gotta do this. Now's the time, And it worked out.
yeah, man, yeah.
So, Apile, a lot of the people who know you from social media, you've branded yourself very well, actually, as Africa's greatest entrepreneur,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And you've started a company, a luxury streetwear brand, as you call it, called AP Originals. When did you found that? Was that when you're 17 years old?
No. That was AP Originals was a concept that came about in about I was 14.
14. Mm.
Yeah. So I had just gotten into high school, and when I got into high school, I was you know my dad had always taught me how the movement of money. I should always understand of money, and like that's how that came about. And then when I entered high school, we had a market day the year before, and then I started selling suckers because I was like, yo, you can make so much money. All right.
That
And then I
hustle.
started
Mm.
selling suckers, and then I branded the suckers AP Original Suckers, you
All
know?
right.
So, and then grade 8, grade 9, I was making like 1,000 rand a week, and I was like, this is this is money,
Bank.
right? But by the time I was like grade 10, I was like, I need to give people something more tangible. That's what I needed to make this thing an actual brand because I was already AP. I'm already AP. Like, hey, AP. And then
Mm.
people, instead of calling the suckers like pin pops, they'd be like AP Orig. Like, where's the
Ah,
original?
okay.
But it was still like Aldo suckers or Monster suckers. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I had to create something more tangible, something that people can grab. Like this garment, bro. It's timeless. We can
Why fashion? The brand could have been anything. Why did you go into fashion?
Um, I think subconsciously the way that my dad raised me, um, is like I was always dripping. You know, like I was
I
yeah,
feel that.
like my dad thought I'd have like a self like a low self esteem, right? So he always
Yeah.
dripped me the craziest clothes, like Lacoste. Like I was like what? I was the fattest kid. I was wearing Lacoste. I was wearing all of these brands,
Jeez.
and
You
by
look
the
good
time,
though.
pardon?
You look good, bro.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. So I was really fat as a kid, though. So I think unconsciously that was the reason, but consciously, I just was looking all around me, and I felt like there was nothing that could represent this. This was the platform for me, basically. This was the platform for me. AP Originals was like, this is how I'm choosing to start. You know,
Okay. Okay.
Sub,
You wanted to
con-
taste something.
pardon?
You wanted to taste something at like a higher production level.
Yeah. So I just wanted to see the name AP Originals on something. It wasn't. I'm
Okay.
like I always tell people that I'm actually not like I'm not into fashion. I'm not like I'm a creative entrepreneur. Like I'm not
Okay.
a creative designer. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? I'm
Okay.
a creative. No, so from the suckers, because even the suckers could have been anything, right? So from the
Yeah.
suckers, the fashion, I just wanted anything that could have my name on it this time. I was tired of
Yeah.
selling Aldo suckers and rebranded in people's head as AP Originals. I just wanted something tangible. And once I knew that I had something tangible, then that was going to be the platform for me to create more businesses. You know, once I
I
can
see.
prove what is it called? The proof of concept. Once I can prove that I have something tangible,
Yeah.
you know, and then people will start recognizing and start wanting AP Originals, and then they'll be like, "Who's the founder of AP Originals?" No one can say, "Oh, who's the founder of AP Original Suckers?" Because the the name of the founder is right there. It's Aldo Suckers, you know,
Mm, mm, mm.
and that's exactly
Get
what
you.
AP Originals is.
I
You
get
know,
you.
yeah,
That intuitive sense is sick, and I actually I get it, bro. The fact that you took something that was branded as something else, you decided to sell it under your thing, but then you branded it as Apile, and
yeah,
you put it out to the masses as something completely different, and you made it mean what you wanted it to mean. That's
yeah,
something I completely understand, bro. My entire thing is brand at scale, just brand, and
yeah.
I've I feel like this segues perfectly into the next thing, which is as someone who has like that intuitive sense for brand, what made you then want to get into marketing? This is the real conversation that I actually really want to have with you, bro.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
digital's been here for a second, but in Africa, a lot of the businesses this side haven't woken up to that reality. So
Most definitely.
merging with like your background in just basically your mindset and the way you're thinking about branding things, what prompted you into getting into digital marketing, starting an agency?
Look, once when I was in matric, I didn't get too much time to spend on AP originals as I wanted to,
Mm,
right?
of course.
And I realized that, oh snap, and I was like, AP Originals, it could be making money. Like the type of person that I am, like I looked at AP Originals, like, okay, cool, it's good, and people
Mm,
know it, and like I'm kind of happy to deal with it. I'll come back when I know the potential I can actually put in the company, right?
okay.
So I'm in matric, and I produced one or two garments. That's when the stuff really started flying, right? So
Okay.
background, right? And then I just wanted more. Like people were wearing it, but I wasn't getting as much money as I wanted from it, right?
Okay.
And I was watching a lot of people, and I came named Pete Fogden, right? This was like I think February the year after I finished school, so 2021. I met the
Okay.
guy, and I wasn't happy with how much money AP Originals was making. I wanted more money. I met Pete. He told me if he basically gave me a blueprint of everything that he has done, because his company turned over 1.5 million in revenue
Okay.
2020.
Is that Rands?
Yeah, that's rands.
What does he do?
He had a digital marketing agency.
Okay.
Um, and he was based in Cape Town.
Okay.
Now he's doing a bunch of Web3 stuff. You know.
Okay. Then we'll get into that later as well.
So yeah, I meet Pete, right? And once I meet Pete, sweet stuff. He gives me a blueprint of digital marketing, copywriting, and he says, "AP, if you do this properly within 3 months, well, shit, excuse my language, but you'll be making
Nah,
tons and
don't worry. We cool here, bro. We cool.
like you'll be making tons of money at
Okay.
minimum 10 grand a month." And I was
Okay.
like, no way. And then I got into digital marketing like that, and then I fell in love with it, you know.
Okay.
So that's how I got into digital marketing. You know, I had no name for it at the beginning. The name came about because, yeah, I'll explain the name.
Of
But
course.
then the name came about like once I got my first client. I had no name before that. I was just asking clients to work with them, do their content advertising and stuff like that.
What is that entire process like? Like you started a new agency and now you want to get your first client to like prove yourself that you can actually have them as a retainer. How did you go about that process? How did you find the first client? And who was it? Was it Food Park?
No, no, no. It wasn't feedback. It wasn't feedback.
Food
Feedback
Pack.
was I can say, a whale client
Okay.
because they're paying over 10K a month.
Okay.
So that was my first whale client. So my first client was a company here in Pietermaritzburg, KZN, that I was buying AP Originals material from. So the
Okay.
material that was going to be made for AP
Mm,
Original
makes sense.
was going to be used from that shop, right? So what I did is I built a relationship because I knew that I was about to pivot.
Mm,
Uh, I knew that I was about to pivot from AP Originals to digital marketing. I wanted to make his social media better, so I built a really good relationship with him.
okay.
I bought like 8,000 worth of material from his shop, and I
Okay.
said, look, this is what I'm moving into now. I'm obviously my business is going good on this side, but this is what I want to do for you. That was over a period of time. Obviously, he thought
Hmm.
about it. An email, a couple of emails, we chatted, and that's actually how I got my first client. By knowing how to talk, man,
I
and
feel you.
knowing the end goal to whatever you do. Obviously,
What do you guys do? Is everything in house? Do you guys do paid and media? Do you do creative stuff as well? What do you
so
guys do?
so we do paid media, affiliate marketing. We do content advertising. We do
The
content
whole
creation.
thing.
We do the whole thing.
Okay.
Um, but we still gonna niche down as time goes, because the riches are in the niches.
What do you want to niche down into?
Oh man, like could be a lot. It could be just like we focus on one thing. Maybe like we focus on social media, you know,
Mm.
uh, and that's it.
Are
Like
you guys sorry, bro? Are you guys spending any amount of money in traditional, like billboards, flyers, brochures, stuff like that?
not even, bro. Not
Mm.
even.
Mm.
You know,
Okay.
uh, we're not like traditional works. I don't know. Maybe if we were in 2010, sure,
Yeah. Yeah.
but traditional is it's out, for me personally. I
Yeah.
was running ads like just yesterday, and I'm looking at this and I'm like, yo, all the people that I wanted this ads to get to got to. Like it wasn't by chance. And with
Digital's
me,
just so much better, bro.
exactly, so it wasn't by chance. It's like, oh, this person's gonna pass by the billboard, maybe, you know,
Maybe. And who's
but
even looking these days? It's either you're talking to the friend in your passenger seat, or you're on your phone or something.
exactly, nobody's
You know,
really looking. And if you're in
yeah.
the digital world, you have to look up for people. I don't
Mm.
know if that,
Oh yeah,
because
no, I get what you mean. I get what you mean.
everybody is here, bro. And I literally shut off like the time that you sent me the DM, I had just gotten back on Instagram because I delete Instagram for like 2 weeks and like starve myself of that shit so I can actually work, on the real stuff,
I
you
feel
know.
you. I feel
Yeah,
you. As someone, this is something I want to talk about as well. As someone running a digital agency, a digital marketing agency, in
yeah,
terms of marketing for the entrepreneurs listening or anybody who wants to get into building their personal brand, building a business, doing something practical online. In
yeah,
terms of marketing your content and getting your message out there, how much do you think context matters? And let me explain what I mean.
yeah,
I was sitting in my lounge with my aunt, who
yeah,
I've been pushing since before I started putting out content. I told my aunt, I said Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, TikTok. She did not believe me. Fair enough, I hadn't proved anything. I started putting out content on my personal pages, started picking up some traction, but
yeah,
it really started to spiral when I started doing drop shipping, so
yeah,
e-commerce, and I was posting content organically on
yeah,
TikTok, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts, and within like the first 12 days got like 60,000 views. Organic, people coming to the website, making purchases and stuff like that. Profit margins go from 30 to 50% to 70 to 90% because I'm
yeah,
not paying for cost of acquisition.
yeah,
And it was because of the way, and that's organic, right? And then in terms of paid media, the conversions were through the roof as well because of the way that we were doing our content.
yeah.
Like if I know Apile is, how old are you, bro?
Oh, I'm 19.
If I know you're 19 and you live in Pietermaritzburg, I'm going to speak to you differently than a 57-year-old woman who lives in Cape Town, right?
Yeah,
And what I had said to my aunt was, we sit in the lounge and we watch TV, and people are paying hundreds of thousands of rands for prime spot ads so that people can see them after the news or during a popular show.
mm,
Where when we're sitting in the lounge, it's me, a 18-year-old kid, my dad who's 51, my mom who's 40 something, my sister who's 10, and every single one of those demographics need different content. We
yeah,
respond to different things. So
yeah,
like you would split down the creative into different parts and target it correctly. Like I just feel like for anybody who's, it's a really niche conversation, but for the people who use it, I think it's extremely important. In your
yeah.
experience, I'll give you a two-part question. How much do you think context matters in marketing, and what has been your biggest realization about digital marketing since you got into the business?
Um, okay, so context. Context is like is so you obviously know that branding and marketing are two different things, right?
Mm,
So what kind context is very important for both. So
okay.
with me in terms of branding myself and how like I literally branded myself as the greatest because that worked, you know. I don't want to say it worked, but how did it work? So when I said I was the greatest, I was lying to myself, you know. At
What is
at
it?
at first,
Okay.
I kept on telling myself I was the greatest until I did stuff that proved that I was the greatest, you know.
Yeah.
So context and conviction are your superpowers in the game of branding yourself. I
Okay.
don't know if it makes sense.
Give us some more insight about that.
So context, what you actually saying, right? and
Okay.
and your material and
Okay.
what you're telling people, and conviction in what you're telling these people.
Yeah.
It your that's your recipe for actually marketing and going in there and going out there and mastering the art of people. All right.
Okay.
So when you're in a position to so what was the second part of your question?
What is your biggest realization? What has been your biggest realization since starting this digital marketing agency in that world?
Well, look, Uh, the world is
It
changing.
takes time.
No,
What did
like
you say?
the world is changing, bro. You know,
Mm,
it's getting crazier by the day. Also, if you're gonna watch this anytime between um June as we're recording and July, just we're in deep recession. That's what I've learned. We're in a moment of recession, and you guys can make tons and tons of money if you go into the digital world. That is what I've learned. Literally, that is what I'm learning now. I don't
yeah,
know much. Only 19. People they come to me and think
respect,
like I don't know. I don't know anything, and that's why I have this. So
respect.
know it. I can't say I know everything about your digital space, but I know that that's where the money is going to be for most of you guys if you take your life seriously enough to actually try something and fail and try again. That's what I know about the space. You
Yeah,
try today, you try tomorrow, you try every single day of your life, and you be convicted in your content. You know what I'm saying? Be convicted in the things that you say and the things that you put out. Be convicted. Be. See your stuff as the real stuff. You know, and don't let anybody say anything to you any different. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? I
I
just
believe in that, bro.
believe it. The space pro needs you to believe in yourself because sometimes the space will be really dark and
Yeah,
people, family will look at you like you're doing nothing with your life.
of course.
Stay there because not everybody understands. Go at
Yeah,
it. You know?
I feel that, bro. Coming from an immigrant household, it's something. It's such a common theme, bro. Right now, I finished high school last year,
Yeah.
2021. Oh, is that right? Yeah, 2021. And I'm taking a gap year this year. I managed somehow to convince my Zimbabwean parents to let me take a gap year. And
Yeah.
within that entire period, I've just been putting in grind, bro, and trying to take this year to prove that I don't want to go to university. I don't want to waste their money and
Yeah.
do something that I know isn't going to be for me in the end.
Yeah.
And like you said, bro, that conviction, especially doing the things that we're doing, such as putting out content and putting ourselves out, that
Yeah.
balance between being convicted but not trying to convince anybody. Because
Yeah.
here's the cool thing, bro. If we say something about, let's say, the digital space or whatever, Web3, and it turns out to be right in 4, 5, 6, 7 years, we get the benefit of building reputation.
Yeah.
So if you're so convicted in what it is that you're saying and you think that is true, just full send it. Go
Yeah.
for it.
Of
Go for
course.
it. And then if it goes amazing, kudos to you. Take the pat on the back and keep moving forward. If it
Wow.
sucks, be accountable and be like, you know what, I was wrong. I'm sorry
Yeah.
it happened.
Yeah. And the really thing about being the age that we are right now, is we're able to fail as fast as possible.
Mm,
That I've learned, we're not always gonna get it right. You know,
yeah. Yeah.
I'm creating generational wealth from scratch.
From
I'm not
scratch.
always gonna, I'm not always gonna get it right, but we're able. When you're young, you have the superpower again to fail as fast as possible because failing fast means you're learning fast as well. You
Yeah.
know, so that's really like the icing on top, like right now for us and going into the space that we're
Yeah.
able to find as fast as possible. If you get an email wrong, you remember, like you pick points. Oh, that's why I didn't get a response.
Yeah.
Oh, that content didn't go accordingly. Oh, that's why this is happening. And this you're failing, but you're failing really fast. You
Yeah.
know, if you're not able to get a client, why didn't you get the client? You write notes down. You go, and that's the
Just
process
keep
of
moving
being.
forward.
You have the energy to do all of this stuff. You know, there's so much power in being young right now,
There's
and
so much power, bro. The
yeah,
time that's on our side,
yeah,
crazy.
and that's the narrative that people have completely forgotten. There's like time is still on our side. Like you
Yeah.
think, like the old system was saying to you that stay in school, learn, you're gonna get a job. The old system lied to you. The least you could flipping do is to learn something on the internet and actually get internet money because it's flipping real. Us,
And
we
it's
know.
there. Yeah, it
Us,
is.
know. Like you're not after you get that degree. Kudos to the people that are trying and that are getting those degrees. Much respect. By the way, that's why it's called dropout marketing. But anyway, um,
Wait, bro, did you go to uni at all? Or did you just like not go?
dropout marketing.
Ah, okay, okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
dropout marketing. That's
How
what it
long?
is.
How long before you dipped?
Um, I'm actually it's crazy because I dipped, went back, all right,
Okay,
because I was in this phase of my life. So I'm currently doing a degree, UKZN.
okay,
Uh, for I dropped out first semester because I was like, I'm not doing this stuff. Um,
yeah.
however, um, I reevaluated some things and then I carried on. And then, but like I'm doing a Bachelor of Social Science in Government Business and Ethics.
Okay.
Uh, so I'll get back to you guys on that one. You know, it's
There's
it's
such a well, I'm even sensing, even by the way you're speaking about this topic, I think for a lot of people, there's such a stigma around like we've spent the majority of this podcast speaking about the opportunities of digital. And there's
yeah,
such a stigma now for everybody who choose to go the opposite way. And by opposite, I don't mean non-digital. I mean someone who says, like, guys, it's cool to be like, yeah, we're gonna do this thing and start a business, and we're gonna do that because it makes you guys happy. But I wanna be a teacher. I wanna be a lawyer. I wanna be
yeah.
a doctor.
Those options are definitely still available.
Yeah.
Um, I would suggest young people pursue them, but at the same time, um, it's not for everyone. The
It really
system
isn't. It really isn't.
is primitive on that side. It's not for the African child. That's my biggest problem.
I know you're very passionate about that. Please expand on that because impacting Africa is something that I'm very passionate about as well. I want to hear
Yeah.
your perspective.
So the current education system is it's not for the African child. It's too diluted for the African child. It doesn't help. Like the last time we're actually forced to, I don't know, read properly and encouraged to read like grade six. Well, that's in South Africa, you know, and that's not right. The books that we read are not right. How is it possible? There's a guy called Credo Mutua that the kids don't know about. An African, um, well, I can say he's a traditional philanthropist and traditional healer. You know,
Okay.
amazing books about being African, what was happening before colonialism, and
Hmm.
Africa is a very important subject for me. In the midst of everything that happens in South Africa, there's this one president that used to say, in the midst of everything happening, there's still an African child that I'm worried about. You know, uh, and that's just my stance on Africa right now. Is that I don't think the current leaders are worried about the middle the how can I put it, the young black child. They're
How does
not.
that bleed? How does that bleed into how you operate? Because I think like there's a lot of things coming from. It's interesting living in South Africa, right? Coming from Zimbabwe, I moved here
Yeah,
about 6 years ago. You go from it's really it's such a different cultural setting in that here when you come here there's a lot more room or acceptance towards blaming the system, right? And here's the thing, the people in South Africa feel the same way about their government as, okay, not exactly the same, but
yeah,
we share the same sentiment as the people in Zimbabwe. Like it's a country that was amazing at one point. Now it's probably one of the worst. Bottom is the reason that we moved as well. And I've seen how, especially in South Africa, of course that is true, and there's so many systematic things in place that can limit someone's full potential. But
yeah,
coming from an accountability standpoint, somebody who's been lucky enough to have an opportunity like this, to have a platform, to have people that you want to listen to, that want to listen to you. I've always said, like it's tough out there. Like trust me, I know. I remember when my cousins first got DSTV, bro. When they first got DSTV and the whole fam was around the lounge and like it was such a momentous event because people were coming from like the slums, and now they had a TV, bro, in the suburbs. So like
Yeah.
I really understand what you mean when you say that karma, when you live in a country like South Africa, the conversation of the opportunity here is understated, and
Yeah.
accountability towards what we can do about that. Like the government, everybody complains about the government in every country, but what
Mhm.
can we do? So I guess like my question to you
Like,
is, yeah,
yeah.
sure,
So like, I think your question would have been, I don't know, I don't wanna, I kind of interjected, but like, how does that whole thing shape me?
yeah. How
Uh,
does that bleed into how you operate
yeah,
as,
exactly.
yeah,
So my thing is, bro, my thing is, it's like nobody's gonna give you anything for free. I don't expect anybody to give me anything for free. The system will always be the way it is. It'll always be messed up, and you will always be complaining unless you do want to stop complaining and dust yourself up, say F the system, and let's go at it every day. I don't know. If I have to try every single thing, that's like this. That's literally how I do things. If I have to try every single thing and maybe like one works, I'll stick to that one and carry on going
yeah.
until I am at nobody's mercy, not even my government's mercy.
I love that,
That's
bro.
where
I
I'm
love
going. That's how the whole system, educational system, bleeds out on my work, bro.
Bro, I love that. I love that because it's pointing fingers. It's saying, you know what? Like my mindset is, you know what? Actually, everything is my fault.
Yeah,
So that, and it sucks for 2 seconds. Then you're like, oh wait, that means I'm in control. I can
exactly.
actually change it now.
Exactly. Like everything that is happening in my life is my fault. It's
Yeah,
nobody else. If if I don't get that 10,000 rand next week, it is my fault. If
yeah,
I don't get a seat at that table, it is my fault. Nobody else's fault but mine. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like that's the whole thing. Responsibility, accountability, and discipline.
How liberating has that been for you in the things that you do? Like just being like, you know what? Everybody else says, fuck the system. I can't do this because of this, but it's on me. What does that do for you?
Sometimes I'm unable to do it, and that's the truth. You know, sometimes I'm unable to
Yeah,
and
yeah,
sometimes people won't be able to do it. Sometimes I sit in my bed and not want to wake up. Hard.
yeah,
It's relearning everything that they've taught you.
yeah,
Life is all about relearning because at some point you have to relearn, restructure your mind because who knows? You shouldn't even be thinking like that. Are your opinions really yours? So to be quite honest, bro, I still struggle, but liberating when it does, you know, bear results in the duration of time I wanted to see the results, you know. But it's reprogramming of your mind and digging really
yeah.
deep stuff.
Yeah, that's amazing, bro. Like I relate to that so much. I've had the pleasure that you have of staying at
Yeah,
home and being able to build my thing whilst I'm at home. And
yeah,
what that does, it like let's be real about it. Like as much as people talk about hustle culture and stuff, I don't know about your specific situation, but I'm completely blessed because I'm not paying rent. I'm 18, finished high school, I'm at home, I'm building the businesses, putting out my personal brand, wada. But I don't have bills to pay. And
yeah.
that's I don't know, sometimes I think about it, I'm like, is my back against the wall enough? You know when you
Um,
come to that point where you're like, am I doing enough?
yeah. I mean, I feel like my biggest problem is like I'm looking at like my ancestors and God, and I'm like, but I'm doing so much. Like, can you not see? And sometimes that immobilizes me.
Mm,
So as much as I live at home, my dad, like, the reason why I actually started entrepreneurship was because I wanted my parents to stop supporting some of my things, buying me data. At 14,
no
that's
shit.
all. Was like, please buy me data, or please, I wanted to stop that. So
Yeah,
responsibilities is, that's why I work. The first thing when my credit score got good, uh, and everything was nice, and I made my extra 20,000 rand. I went last year and bought myself a phone. Um, so to increase my credit score, I got it on contract. You
mm,
know, and I pay for fiber. I do all of these things not because I have to, you know, but because I'm sort of like taking on responsibility, you know.
I
So
feel
that,
you. I know what you
so
mean.
it enhances my being in 10 years from now, you know.
I know what you mean. I remember
Yeah,
telling my mom to stop paying for my gym membership because I just didn't want that anymore, bro.
yeah,
And I didn't go to the gym for like a solid year because I was just genuinely just getting my shit together, and I was
yeah,
gymming from home.
yeah.
And now it's
And
at that point.
I, it's sacrifices, honestly. You know,
And
sometimes,
like that's optional. Like we're
yeah,
blessed enough to say, "Mom, please stop."
yeah, you know. Um, but yeah, man, like that's the blessing of this hustle. You know, I'm not from a well-off family. That is to be noted. You know,
Mm,
I'm not from a well-off family, but I've
yep.
always had the best because I've had hard workers around me. You know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. I know
if
what you mean.
if you work hard and if you stay at it long enough, you know, you'll 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 come up with something in your hand. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. For sure. I relate to that so much, bro. Like one thing that I've said is one reason that I'm documenting is I don't want anybody to ever have any opportunity to say he always came from a rich family. I remember when we
Yeah.
first moved here and it was seven of us in a three-bedroom house and we were sleeping on the floor. And my parents
Yeah.
had to bust their ass, like just to give us a good education, to give us everything that they gave us, bro. So I really know what you mean when you say that. Getting to like the final last few minutes of this
Yeah.
podcast, a conversation that I think is extremely important that I want to have with you is Web3. Web 3.0, blockchain, crypto, NFT space. I haven't spoken to you about this in the past, so I don't know how
Yeah.
much of like inside you're in that space, but how much in like time wise invested are you in Web 3?
Um, I'm I'm touching on it. I'm studying it. I'm studying it when I can. On top of everything that I'm doing.
Of
Um,
course.
so it's a very crazy space. You know, it's a new space,
Yeah, it's new.
and yo, bro, I haven't like I spend like at least 30 minutes a day. 30 is like max because it's usually I'm going through topics on Twitter and then diving onto Discord,
Mm,
um, getting like updates on what's actually happening with especially crypto. Because I have some of my money invested in crypto. You know,
okay.
I'll be the next 2 to 3 years. Um, so I've got a crypto portfolio. I haven't really got into the NFT space. It hasn't really made much sense to me as yet.
Okay.
Uh, and then obviously crypto NFTs, not really. And then all my other metaverse interactions with people and what's next, really. You know?
I mean, I
So
get it. You're actually operating a business. Like you're doing stuff, and it's like you gotta allocate extra time. I understand what you mean.
yeah, so it's been crazy, but I've got a portfolio manager as well, so I don't need to worry about these things as much.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, is
So
that 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. grind where it's like I genuinely believe with every part of my soul, after all the homework that I've done, things that I've seen, um, and literally how we're building our companies. I run my drop shipping e-commerce stuff by myself, but I have a
yeah,
music company with my best friend Rocky. So
yeah,
obviously, like music is gonna be impacted by Web3 a lot. I
yeah,
genuinely believe Web3 is the future.
yeah.
I just don't know how that's going to play into an African economy yet.
We need to figure it out and start doing it.
We need to like put money behind it. Like, bro, I'm so like projections for what we're about to make in this company. We okay. Let me explain a little bit more. We're a music
Yeah,
company. We sell beats to artists and we put out content helping artists and producers be independent, no longer
yeah,
need a label. Mainly because of blockchain that has allowed us to do this where
yeah,
like you don't need to go to a label and as an artist and lose 80% of your masters and your royalties when you can keep all of them or 90 and give some of them to your fans in an NFT project. Wild shit. Like I'd really want to get into a conversation with you about it like later on.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
we're spending an uncomfortable amount of time in that space, bro. Money being poured into NFTs, blockchain project and stuff like that. I really believe it's the future, bro. I believe
yeah,
everybody at even in Africa, give it 10 to 12 years, will own something digitally via an NFT. And it will be in your public wallet and everybody will be able to see it. That's what
yeah,
I believe.
mm,
And it's an early space. These conversations are like,
yeah,
like I'm
yeah.
I'm I'm scouting for people to speak about this stuff with,
You know, my thing is, bro, mm, like especially with the I go fully into Web3 and everything because it blocks out the noise. It keeps you invested in that point. But like, if you take a look outside, you know that there's people still doing construction companies. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
And I'm you see with my thing is I'm an entrepreneur, bro. I stay by that, and I'm always looking for opportunity, bro.
Mm,
I'm always looking for opportunity. Bill Gates is the biggest land. I'm sorry to all my African entrepreneurs, and I don't really respect Bill Gates to make him an example, but he's the largest landowner in America,
okay.
largest landowner. So he understands the importance of land. Why does he understand it? We can go into that another time. I love Web3. I love the web space. I love the metaverse, but there is still real money with real things to be made. That's why I'm a multifaceted entrepreneur rather than a web developer on Web3, just a web developer on Web3. I can go into Web3, I can do these things, check these things out, and they're brilliant, and I love it, and I love NFTs. Sick. But I still wanna, I still wanna spar. I still wanna
No,
play
I mean
game.
I get you. I
You
get
know,
you.
I
I feel
still
like
want.
one misconception that people have about Web3 is that it's all about the metaverse. Like,
Yeah,
when you speak about your passion for Africa, I'm thinking about how blockchain is gonna allow people in Africa who aren't formally banked to send each other money. Like
yeah,
without all the like there's so many like forget having like good banking solutions. People in
yeah,
Africa don't have banking solutions, period. And if
yeah,
blockchain can allow me and you to transact without an intermediary that's taking so much of the bag and so much processing
yeah.
time and da 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 da, I think it's an important conversation. I think those are the
Econ.
projects I'm spending most of the time on,
Yeah, and bro, like we need people like you, bro. We need people like you. We need people who are gonna start the initiative. You know, we need people who are gonna spark the conversation. There's definitely a kid out there, just like there's a kid out there looking for an entrepreneur. There's a kid out there looking to learn about the space. You
Mm,
know, So my thing is like, we need a you. We need a me.
yeah.
You know,
It's all of
there's
us. People
the
usually think it's
bro.
everybody.
The top is lonely. We need to fill that shit up.
I love that. I love that, bro.
The top is lonely. Let's fill it up. Let's hustle, song, all of us, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's simple.
Chasing that
A-
happiness.
you know, it's ABC. Let's all go up together and let's all handle. You know, and the world needs every one of us, bro.
Mm, all of
If you
us.
do something, if you're trying to do something, the world needs you. You know.
That's why I'm like, why do people bash people who choose to do a 9 to 5 or versus like being an entrepreneur? It's like, no, we need all of us, bro. We're
Yeah,
gonna need to take our kids to school, and we're gonna need to go to the doctor and all of that stuff. You
yeah.
know,
The world needs us. That's
Apile,
what's.
people come to my podcast for a very specific reason. They either
Yeah,
know, they either want to know how to grow their thing, they either
yeah,
want to come and be motivated, they want to learn about something new. I speak a lot in this podcast about NFTs, crypto, not so much crypto, NFTs, blockchain, where I think that's going from like the ground level up. I've got like a
yeah,
lot of content on that.
yeah,
Um, to everybody who's listening and who's watched however much of this that they've watched or listened on Spotify, Apple Music,
yeah,
they want to do something. Everybody's after something. And as I've been paying attention to comments on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. It seems like the main thing is people just want freedom. They want to be able to do what they want, whenever they want, all the time. They want to be happy human beings. What
Yeah.
is something that you have to say to someone who says, I've got goals, I've got dreams, I've got aspirations, and I want to go after them, and there might be some things that are stopping me mentally or whatever. What is someone standing in front of you right now and saying, Aphile, just give me a word, bro. Give me a word. Just tell me something. I want to chase my shit.
If it gets difficult, cry for 5 minutes, not more than 5, and never stop.
I
That's
love
it.
that. I love that. Nice and
Because you're
simple.
gonna fall. You are gonna fall. You are gonna cry. Um, it is gonna hurt. But if you stop, you die.
Yeah.
And I don't want any of you to die. I don't want anybody here to die with dreams. You know. I don't want anybody to die. Said to their, oh my word, I wish this could work. Or I wish I could have done this. I wish I could have done that. You know.
Yeah.
What I would say to an individual or to a person is, cry for 5 minutes. It will hurt. Trust me. And then once you've done that, don't stop.
Can't
You
ever
know,
give up.
yeah, don't ever give up. Don't, not even for a second. Don't let anybody see you fall. You know, that's exactly what I would say, because that's exactly what I say to myself in the mirror.
I love that, bro. I can tell you care about people. I share the same sentiment.
Yeah, bro. So everybody's got it tough, bro. And
Yeah, that's true.
if you care just a bit more, you might actually make someone's day. Yeah.
I love that, bro. Apile, it's been an incredible 47 minutes with you on this
Crazy.
podcast. I'm very happy. Thank you again for accepting my invitation to come and do this. It's been amazing to have you on here. I
Yeah.
hope everybody who listened got some value from this podcast, something that you can take away, something practical you
Yeah.
can go ahead into your life and implement.
Yeah.
Any last words, bro?
Um, don't stop reading. Don't stop learning. Go
Nice.
at it today. People can take away everything from you, but they can never take away what's in here. My name is Aphile Ndaba, the greatest entrepreneur to come out of Africa, and I'm coming for everything. God bless.